If you're a small company in the construction industry, whether that's you're an electrician, you're a plumber, or maybe you're a bigger concrete company, you probably think that you can't compete with these bigger firms on Google and online. But in fact, today I'm going to show you exactly how you can compete with them. And in some cases, if you do it well enough, you can beat them. So in this video, I'll break down exactly how small construction companies can beat big firms online. And this is relevant for if you're business to business, business to consumer, or you're just growing and you want to figure out how you can use your online presence to enhance your growth. So let's just be perfectly honest. Big firms have bigger budgets. They have bigger teams and more brand recognition, right? Everyone's heard of Seeker, right? Or Balfour Beatty. And yet, somehow, smaller companies are beating them online every single day. And it's not by outspending them. It's by being smarter with what you've got, by going niche, and by being hyper local, right? By building the kind of trust online that a faceless corporate firm can't replace. You can't beat a family run business where you can actually see the owner of the business talking to you and talking about their service and their product and seeing him come on site. And the reason this is so relevant is because 46% of all Google searches are looking for local results, right? They're not looking for a massive company. They want someone who is known in the area and can help them. And I'm sure this isn't any surprise, but 97% of people search online trying to find a local business. So you want to show up there. Let's be honest though. Big firms, they do have an advantage. It's not a secret, right? They have larger ad budgets. They can afford to outbid you. They have in-house marketing experts. They have brand recognition and they have more content. They have better SEO, right? You have power that you probably didn't realize you had. You have faster decision making. There's no CEO, there's no board that you need to consult to know whether to make a change in your business. You just make the change. You have real stories and real faces behind your company. You're more relatable. I can't relate to some massive corporate company coming in to replace my boiler. I can relate to John down the street coming to replace my boiler because he needs to feed his family. You know the local area better than anyone, better than these big companies know. And you have genuine reviews from real clients, real people. You know, corporate companies, they fall into this corporate fluff. They are talking about KPIs and all this other corporate bullshit. And really, people in the real world, they don't care for all of that. They just want to know they've got someone reliable and someone who speaks the same way that they speak. So let's go into exactly how you can compete. So firstly is go hyper local. Again, big firms, they target broad national keywords, which is too expensive and competitive for you, a smaller firm, to win. But local searches have the buying intent. Builder in Surrey means they're ready to hire right now. I'm looking for someone just there who can help me build my house. Again, if you're going hyper low in just, a 5 mile radius, there's less competition. If you're in a 30-mile radius, you might have, 500 other plumbers in the area competing. Whereas in a 1, 3, 2-mile radius, there's a lot less competition. And the chances are there's not going to be one of these massive firms in there. And of that competition, most of these guys, they're not watching a video like this right now, trying to figure out how to optimize their SEO or compete better. So you're going to be able to win a lot easier. So how can you execute this, right? I have a video that I just put out yesterday, which talks about location and increasing your SEO on your website. So go watch that video. But here's an overview. Build location pages for every town or borough you serve, and make sure you just have one page per area that you cover. This will boost your SEO and your ranking on Google. Make sure your title for each page and the first heading on each page is service in location. Keep it simple, but this helps Google find people to show your web page to. And make sure your Google business profile is optimized. This is just the single highest ROI action you can make is just make sure your Google profile is set up. I mean, I can't believe that I have to say this every time, but make sure you get reviews and make sure that they mention your location. So when you ask for the review, once you finish your job, just please, can you mention that I was in Surrey or wherever? Because then other people who are looking at the review will see, oh, he was in my town and be able to help. reassure that person. And make sure you get listed on Checker Trade, Trusted Trader, Bark, Yell, all of these local directories. Now, personally, I wouldn't recommend using them particularly, but getting listed on there simply can help. Next, make sure you niche down and just own that niche. And a lot of people inherently, they fear this and they resist it. And I think it's because logically it's like, well, why would I want to say no to anyone? I need as much work as I can get. But actually, online, the complete opposite is true. If you don't specialize, you're going to be competing with the big firms. So actually, you're not really going to get very much work. But when someone needs a specific thing, they search for that special thing, a specialist, not a generalist. And Google rewards specificity, right? If someone wants their loft converted and made livable, they're not going to be searching construction company in Leeds. They're going to be searching loft conversion in Leeds. So if you market yourself broadly as a construction or renovation company, then you're going to miss out on that high intent search. Whereas if you market yourself specifically in that niche as loft conversion in Leeds, then you're going to be getting that search. So specific always ranks higher than a generic page. And here's just a quick example. A generic message would just be, we do construction across Leeds, where a specialist would be loft conversion specialist in Leeds. And if you need a loft conversion, I know I'm going to be clicking this one and not the general one. So my third recommendation would be just win on reviews and social proof, right? The one area small firms always beat big firms in is just having loads of reviews in a specific area. Big firms, they have these generic corporate, like it's hard to trust, it's hard to relate to their reviews because their clients are other big clients. Whereas small firms, you can build a genuine mountain of detailed Google reviews with real people and real emotions. You can get 50 reviews, 4.9 stars, and you destroy one of these bigger companies, especially when it's all aggregated into a tiny area. Let's say you're in somewhere in Surrey or in Chessington, and if all the people who are leaving your reviews are in Chessington, then a Chessington homeowner is gonna want to use you. And make sure, if you can, that people are leaving photos of the actual work. And I mean, these are just crazy statistics, but they're not surprising. 93% of consumers say online reviews impact their buying decisions, and 72% won't take action until they've read reviews. So again, I have a video on how to get more Google reviews. Watch that video, which covers all of these points here. But if you don't have any reviews currently, just call up all your previous clients and ask them to leave a review. Make sure they put a photo on it. And if that sounds boring and just like a headache, and if you think automating future reviews will also be confusing, just click the link in the pinned comment in the description and we can help you with that. So my fourth recommendation would be to use content to build authority. Now, I know people are usually opposed to this, but this is just going to give you a massive advantage, and it's getting more popular, but I don't think people have sort of caught on that it's super effective. So make sure you're posting on Instagram and you're answering questions that answer real client questions, right? Because someone might see that before they call you and think, oh, okay, that was helpful. I'll use this person. And remember that content also helps your website SEO. And what does super well on social media is actual video of your work. You know, if you're a decorator, then your work is super satisfying for people to see the transformation in someone's house, and they can think, oh, that's how it will look like in my house. And that is just super effective. And it doesn't have to be a 20-minute video. It can be a 60-second short on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. And my last recommendation for you to compete with these bigger companies is just run smarter targeted ads. Now, these big firms, they have the bigger ad budgets. So that's something you need to be aware of. And it is a limitation, but they run broad campaigns because they target everyone. They help everyone. They serve everywhere. So they have to run broad campaigns. Whereas you, because you're a local business, you can run your ads in a small area and have your ads be applicable to those people you know are in that area. You work with them every single day. You help them every single day. You know what they want to see. You know what their problems are. So you can target that tight radius a lot better. And in your ads, you can specifically say, hello, dear Epsom homeowners. Whereas these bigger company, if they ran an ad for every single town in England, they'd have about, I don't know how many, 3,000 ads. So they can't do that, right? And meta ads, it allows you to target relevant homeowners in specific postcodes. I run ads for someone in Scotland up near Inverness, and we can run the ads to that specific area, see how many homeowners are in that area. And it works really, really well, even on a small budget. And because you're running it in this small area, even £500 a month is enough on Meta to see really good results if you're an electrician, you're a decorator, even a roofer. Think about the price of a new roof compared to just £500 a month on these ads. My recommendation, start with meta ads. The targeting is really good on there, and you can target the exact postcode that you're looking for. Especially if you're a decorator, your ad will show up. So you can put a nice photo of it before and after, or a video, and that will perform really well. And you don't have to start with £10,000, even £300, £500 a month. Just prove it before you start scaling. So just as a quick summary for you, if you want to compete with these bigger firms, go hyper local, own your town, own your region, make everyone in the region know your name, your company name. You want to pick a niche and lead with it. That will help your ranking on Google. Make sure you're capturing reviews. It's not complicated. Make sure they're leaving Google reviews with photos. If you really want, you can take the photos yourself and say, please, can you put this on the Google review? You're not lying. It's a photo of the work that you carried out and you've just sent it to them. But that will help boost your credibility. Document your work, obviously. Make sure you're putting it on Instagram, putting it on Facebook, putting it on TikTok, making engaging content. But you don't have to spend hours on it, and run targeted ads. Give it a go. Run it in a tight radius in your area. And I think you'll be surprised what you can do with even £300, £400, £500 a month. So overall, those would be my recommendations if you're a local construction company or you're in the construction industry and you're looking to compete with these bigger guys. If anything in this video was confusing or you're not sure how to take the next steps, if you click the link in the pinned comment, just give us a message, book a meeting with us, and we'll happily help you. And if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe.